Hi guys, thanks for tuning into the channel today. First up, I'd like to say a big thanks to all those that come in and watch me clips when I put them up, and I'd also like to wish everyone again a really great Christmas and hope everything goes well in that line for you and you have a good 2023. Now, midway through this clip, I've put up a section here where I compare, for example, if you own a 500 Classic now, should you go back to a 350? So that's something for you to think about, and if you've got one of those bikes, it should be well worth you watching that one. And it's on this ride. Like, I take this 350 of mine into the forest here and we go from there. Now, another thing too I'd like to mention, one of the guys, one of the subs, he's finding neutral. He's got a really trio of nice bikes, like he's got a nice CB, or an immaculate CB 500X with plenty of goodies on it, a nice Yamaha XT250, and also the new Honda Trail. So I'll put a link in the description there if you want to check his stuff out, you know, if you want to see how to really dress up a bike to look the part and see an immaculate bike with huge amount of accessories on it. That's the guy to go to, because he really knows how to put it together and he really puts good stuff on it, and it's a credit to him how well he looks after the bikes. So like I said, I'll put a clip on there for a link for you to go into his channel. You can have a bit of a look, and especially check out that CB500X, because I tell you what, he certainly... Oh, look, actually, he did a good job on all of them, so I just can't say one's better than the other, because he's just loaded them up really nice and tastefully done, and did an extremely good job. So the link will be there, have a look. Right in the guts of the Australian bush here, on a, I suppose it's a fairly used dirt track, but I wouldn't say I've come across anyone on here while I've been along here. So what I thought I'd talk to you about today is really, who is this Classic 350 for? So my thoughts would be, straight off the bat, if you're coming from a Classic 500 and you want to sort of try the 350, you may be disappointed if it's a little bit down on power compared to 28 horsepower virtually against the 20 horsepower bike. I mean, if I look back a couple of years back when I bought a Classic 350 carby version, it was a bit of a disappointment coming from a 500 to a 350 carby version, and believe it or not, this new 350 reborn is a lot different than the old carby one. So I think it's actually what your expectations are, you know. You can't have it both ways really. If you drop from a 500 to a 350, drop the 20 horsepower and expect the power what you had on the 500. Yeah, but on the other hand, you don't get the vibration with it either. So, you know, the way I'd look at it, if you ride a 500 and the vibration doesn't worry you, stick with the 500, because you'll probably end up being disappointed power-wise. But if power isn't the issue, and you just want a really nice, pleasant ride that'll go nearly anywhere, this is the bike to do it on. So that'd be the way I'd look at it that way. You know, if you buy it for the right purpose and don't expect more than what you expect, well, you'll be very happy. But, you know, as far as if you bought a 500 and expect it to run like a 350, well, it's definitely not. It will in the power side, but apart from that, it's a totally different bike to ride, and a more crude type of bike to ride. Looking at the 500, when you get to a 350 now, it's really a nice refined bike where I put the drone up a while ago, and I'll just show you where I am here in a scrub. And I'll tell you what, it was a pretty rough track coming down here, and in the end I called it quits and didn't go any further, just for the sake of I'm getting too far into the scrub. But you'll see where I am, and about another, I don't know, kilometre, then it come to a really steep drop, and I thought I'd better not take the risk going down there. And if I ever want to do that one, I can come back out later on the KLX 150. But apart from that, I just thought of letting you know that if you want to buy one of these for the right purpose, and the right purpose is get out and enjoy it, be satisfied with 80 to 100 kilometre hour cruising, and you know, you're down a little bit power in case you were riding a 500, this little beast over here will do anything you throw at it. And like I said, it's been climbing all these rough areas here, really rough, rocky terrain, and it's been going like a trooper. So, you know, as far as that goes, if you ride to conditions, and the conditions are 100 kilometres an hour is maximum really for the safe play with it. And then even on the dirt here, on some parts I was cruising along in here at 40, 50, 60 kilometres an hour, and it was running along fairly well. Doesn't take a bump too good in this dirt section here. I did notice it virtually almost bottomed out on a couple of real big hits. But then again, who brings one of these in here to play how many bumps we can hit? So apart from that, it's a really pleasant day in Australia today. Well over 20 degrees, it's warm and not much wind. And like I said, Christmas coming on. At this stage, I expected to see someone else on this track, but apart from me, I'm the only one here at the moment. So you keep that in mind, if you're going to buy one of these for the right reason to treat it like a 350 and know its limits. And, if you ever wondered what would happen if they brought out a 500 in this J motor, well, the quick answer to that would be I'd probably jump on one, because as you can see, most of my riding's in really hilly area unless I swing out westway. And, the extra bit would come in handy for pulling hills. But, if you're not using hill pulling, well, I don't think it'd really matter that much. Plus, you have got the options too. If you get one of these, you want to run a sports exhaust on them and a Powertronic ECU to pick up a little bit more grunt. But I was out yesterday and did 100 kilometres on it, and on more normal type riding country, and I was cruising along and at the 100 kilometre hour run, and I was having no trouble whatsoever. And I was only thinking then, like out on that run, if I could only have one bike, I'd have this classic 350 reborn and move all the others out, and wouldn't really worry me, because this is just a fun bike to ride, and I can take it anywhere I want to, and I can go at the pace I want to go. And more importantly, I ride by myself anyway, so I don't have to get there and be hurried along by anyone. But I still don't class these as slow. Like, it'll do its 100 and cruise there quite easy, and you can get a lot of satisfaction sitting on the bike. So just remember, when you buy one of these classic 350s, should you go in that direction, buy it for the right reason, that you want to go cruising back roads and enjoy yourself that way. Not on the off chance you think you might be getting a 500 power plant in a 350 body. It doesn't work like that. But like I said earlier, if you compare the 350 carby version, what the 500 was based on, this is way ahead of one of those, and you wouldn't even consider one, wouldn't even think about one there that far behind it. But the 500, the only reason it's got it over on these is because that extra 7 or 8 horsepower. But I don't know, like I said earlier, when I'm out along the road cruising, I couldn't give a stuff if I had 27 horsepower or 20. It's going along well, I'm enjoying the ride, makes you smile when you're riding along. Even I pulled up yesterday to do drone shots and had the drone running through this paddock photographing some dams. I might even just put a quick one up too of that dam I was photographing. And the owner of the paddock came over in his four-wheel drive motorbike, and a Can-Am one, I think it was, he told me, and just wondered what I was doing outside his boundary fence. But I don't even think he knew I'd already had the drone over there and flew over the place and, did it that way. But apart from that, when you get into these forests, this is what you see regularly, these old wrecked cars. And they bring them in here, either stolen or no good, and just dump them. So they're all scattered all through these areas. This one's been here for a fair while, but so I don't know, looking by that roof, it's been here, you'd reckon, probably been good here 20 years. So apart from that, everything's stripped off it, and it's I doubt it very much if you'd restore this. I think its restoration days are gone. You might be able to restore it into a better rust heap, but apart from that, still got all the spare parts tossed around here. You've got your exhaust and drive shafts, petrol tank, got the works. I just don't know how desperate people are to come in and drop rubbish like this and just piss off. It's sort of hard to believe. But anyway, I will carry on my trail, get back out of here now. I've got a bit of footage. You'll have a see where I am, and I'll tell you what, I'm right in the middle of this forest, so I think in this forest too there were apparently wild pigs too, so they do come in here pig shooting. So apart from that, once again, thanks for tuning in. Look at the beast before we go. Always good to have a look at the beast to make sure I have been where I tell you, so you're confident that I got in here. And I'm just about ready to ride her out. So once again, thanks for tuning in, taking a look, and I hope you like this little bit of info on how I think this bike handles the dirt roads in here, and it just munches them up with no trouble at all, providing you ride them to conditions. So apart from that, catch you later.